Hey, all right. Let's see how the audio is now. Hopefully the audio's fixed by now. We'll see. I guess we'll find out together. Here we go! Yeah, baby. Bow now. Bow now. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Yes, baby. Yes! Hey, thank you so much. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day to be a neighbor. Let's build some dignity-based resistance and make sure the world has meaning. Why not? Why not? I wonder if you can hear me. I wonder if you can hear me. I wonder if you could hear me. New member, Dracos Rose. Thank you so much, Dracos. Harry Potter. Every time I think of Draco, I think Harry Potter. That's Hey Jude. Hey Jude. That was from Hey Jude. That was Paul McCartney. La 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 la. Hey, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're here today. We are going to be talking about a few things. Pick your battles. Welcome to the next episode of Pick Your Battles. We are talking about borders, slavery, Jesus, DEI, and anarchy. This will be the last day where we do these 5 different styles of fun. This is what we do. This is what we do. Yes, this is how we do it. This is how we do it. It's Friday night. It's Thursday night. And you know what? Oh, wow. The sound is still... All right. You had a different time that was posted. I did, Joyous? 1 p.m. I did? I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to. Maybe that's why everything is a little messed up today. But you can join the stream. Actually, I'm going to say pick your battle. Pick your battle. Okay, now you can come on the show. Hello. I love this. Steffelson said hi. Thank you. There's the stream key to get in. There's the key to the conversation. You can come on the show and debate me, bro. Who wants to debate me, bro? I guess I gotta buy a membership tomorrow. Yeah, why wouldn't you buy a membership tomorrow? Of course you should. Why wouldn't you? It's call-in time, baby. Ben, come on, Ben. Why wouldn't you? I'll tell you what, Ben. I'm going to try to give away. Let's see if I can give away I'm going to try to give it away. Hold on. Let's see. Give it away. We were talking about chili peppers earlier. Let's see if I can give away memberships right now. Send gift memberships. We're going to send 5 right now. It's Thursday night and I'm feeling generous. Are you ready? Maybe it's you, Ben. Cross your fingers, Ben. Here it comes, Ben. Here it comes. Are you ready? Here it goes, Ben. All right, Ben from Berlin. Let's see what we got. Ooh, did we get one? Let me see. Ben from Berlin. Z-Monster. Jenna Zakesdragon. Oh, Ben from Berlin didn't get one. I'm sorry, Ben for Berlin. You didn't get now you're going to have to buy one, buddy. Come on, Ben. You're here enough. I tried. I don't have control over these things, bro. I don't have control. Just buy one, Ben. Come on, Ben. Jeez Louise, Ben. Who's going to come on the show and talk with me about these things? Chad, how do we feel about the fact that the name Trump appears on the Epstein files more than the God in the Bible? More than Jesus in the Bible, Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files. You know you love him. You know you love him. Have you seen the pictures? I've seen these pictures of Melania on a pole. I can't tell if they're AI. I don't know what's real anymore because we haven't released all the Epstein files. I mean, as long as they're not going to release them, I don't know how I am supposed to imagine what they are. I don't know. Tomorrow's payday? Heck yeah, tomorrow's payday. Hell yeah. Well, some people got gifts. 5 people got gifts for the Pick Your Battles show. Let's talk about the battles. Let's talk about the battles that we have today. This is the last time we will do these battles. Maybe not the last time for all of them, but on next Monday, we will have a new set of 5 battles. And you could also BYOB, bring your own battle. You could bring your own battle to this and find out. Let's find out what we think. Let's start in the poll. Is it just a poll? All you can do is a poll? I thought I used to be able to do a Q&A. Engage with your audience. It doesn't let me do a Q&A, but it lets me do a poll. Is the picture... Oh, how about was Melania Epstein's girlfriend before she got with the orange guy? Let's see. There we go. Now we have a new poll. Let's see what you think. Was Melania Epstein's girlfriend before she got with the orange guy? I think that's a good one. Do you have it, Block? Yeah, baby. How are we supposed to battle you on those points if they're all true? Like I said, you could BYOB. Bring your own battle. Look, this is just the menu. You could bring your own ideas to the chat. I'm not like one of those one-trick ponies. I like the dialectic. I like to learn stuff too. I like to converse with the people. I'm not like Ari the mermaid, who can only talk about, hey, do you like Trump? We could do that. Should I just do that? It seems like that's a successful formula. I could just say, do you like Trump? Tell me why. I see a lot of people do that. Do you like Trump? Tell me why. Do you like Trump? And then I could just say, how old are you? Why do you like Trump? What specifically has he done since, I don't know. It's always the same thing. What has he specifically done to earn your support? I don't know. Should I do that? Epstein didn't call her a GF. No, I don't think he did. He called her something else, I think. Concubine? Should I change it to concubine? Was she Jeffrey Epstein's concubine before she was Donald Trump's dial-a-bride? Mail order bride? She's accessible. Is that what she is? She's accessible? Do you like Trump? What specifically do you like about Trump? I don't know. It seems so boring to me, but people eat it up. I know. She's accessible. People like it. Hate Speaker Sargon of Akkad says, Ricola. Is that what you say? Re? Ricola. Oh, that sounds like when Darth Maul and Obi-Wan Kenobi are fighting with their lightsabers. I think it's called the Clash of Fates or something. There's a song by John Williams where it's Obi-Wan fighting Darth Maul, and they're like, dun 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 dun. You know what I'm talking about. Moved back into Canada a month ago. Tomorrow will be my first paid at the new job. Natty Shiro. Heck yeah. Welcome back to Canada. I'm just joking. I know it's Canada. I'm just joking. Welcome back to Canada. Isn't that beautiful? Everyone loves Canada. A giant country with only 35 million people. Plenty of room. Everyone's got so much room in Canada. Ain't that nice? I like it. Canadian money, is it worth more than American? Not yet. American money is duel of the fates. That's what it is. Did you hear me do it? I think that's how it goes. Not yet. Canadian money will probably be worth more than American here pretty soon, depending on how the petrodollar goes. I have an immense backyard, like multiple hectares. Nice. Nobody says hectares in America. Hectares. You got a hectare? What the heck is a hectare? Nobody says that in America. The metric system following that. Promises of access to riches, and you may be Melania. Ari has a strong fact and doesn't shrink. Has a strong fact and doesn't shrink. Yeah, but Ari always does the same thing. It's boring. Like, I think Ari the mermaid, she's fine, but it's like boring, man. It's always like, why do you like Trump? It's just like, God damn it, they all like Trump for the same reason. He's racist, and I don't like those brown people coming in my country. You know the answer already. Why do you like Trump is the dumbest question. Like, why do you ask that question on the internet? Like, we have this incredibly miraculous technology where we could talk to each other about anything. And you say, why do you like Trump? Like, it's because they're racist bastards. We all know that. If you like Trump in 2026, in March 19th, 2026, if you think that he's still a great guy, you're a racist. Sorry. That's it. The Petro Yuan. That's what it'll be. The Petro Yuan. Exactly. She doesn't shrin. What is shrin? Because she's strong and she looks at facts is what I meant to say. Nice. She does look at facts. That's true. But again, it's boring. They like the boot. That's why they like Trump. They like the boot, Betty. They like the boot. Who's going to call in? Racist. Someone call for me. Call in, Cololds. Racist. Are you racist? You like Donald Trump? You're a racist. If you like Donald Trump, you're a racist. MAGA is anti-Jesus and fascist. But MAGA cannot exist without racism. Racism is the thing. It's like you can't make a lemon meringue pie without lemons. You know what I mean? It's kind of like MAGA. You can't make MAGA without racism. It is the defining ingredient of the MAGA movement. The MAGA movement is built on racism. It cannot exist without racism. The only way MAGA exists is with racism. I'm not racist, but I don't like Trump. He's too liberal for me. There you go, Cole Olds. Great. We're too liberal for you, huh? Well, I don't like liberals, but if Donald Trump's too liberal for you, you might be a fascist. But Donald Trump's a fascist. What's more fascist than fascist? I don't know. Fear and greed. Yeah, that's all right. Anti-American and hates children. That's true. Colonel Olds won't call in. He's a coward. Those fascists, they're always cowards. They only like beating up on people that won't fight back. That's all they like. They are bullies. Nazis are always bullies. They only fight with people who can't fight back, those who are vulnerable. Ari calls them out about callers' false facts that they repeat. Yeah, but it's just so boring. Yeah. Oh, no, that fact is incorrect. I want to talk about people's principles, people's values, people's scruples, the ethics of how we got here. How can we continue in a place based on this disgusting display of tyranny over and over again? Bible Dumb Podcast is here. You could bring your own battle too. I love talking with you, Davy Crockett. Bound on a mountaintop in Tennessee. Born on a mountaintop in Tennessee. Most beautiful green land that you ever did see. And he killed him a bar when he was only 3. Yeah, he killed him a bar when he was only 3. Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. There you go. Nice. King of the Wild Frontier. BYOB. If you're nasty, you can do it. Get rid of your phone and isolate if you want to fight Petro and the system. Well, you know, we can. You can always isolate it. Meditation, the only true form of protest. Now, is that the only true form? Wow. That's unfortunate. What are all these people doing with all these different forms of protest? I didn't know meditation's the only way. I didn't know. The 30%ers won't listen to anything anyway. Exactly. What's the point? I'd rather have it out. Let's have a dialectic. Maybe I can learn something. Change your mind. Change my mind. Pick your battles. Call in. Come on down. Click the link in the stream. It's broken? Is that real? Are you serious right now? Let me see real fast. If that's true, that will upset me. Let me see. Really? I'll remove this. Here, I'll do it again. Here is the link to join the stream. To bring your battle. Bring your battle. All right, here we go. Copy, paste. And here you go. It shouldn't be broken. Let's see what we got. I'm going to replace the pinned message. All right, this one's pinned. It's pinned. You have it. 71% say Melania was Epstein's concubine before she got with the orange guy. 71%. There you go. Way to go, Epstein's. All right, invite the guests. They're here. Nice, 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 nice. Oh, I can do a branded welcome for guests now. I had no idea. I'm finding out all these new things. They added a new thing. Buddy Pal is here. Yo, Buddy Pal. Buddy Pal. I remember you were, I forget how old you were. Would you put the age in the chat, please, Buddy Pal? Buddy Pal. How old are you, Buddy Pal? All right, Buddy Pal, I'm bringing you to the stage right now. Buddy Pal, you are on the air with Skyjack Morgan. Pick your battles. How you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
I would like to continue our conversation from yesterday.
All right, cutie, let's do it.
I have a statement to start with. Does that work?
Oh yeah, please do. Refresh my memory a little bit. I stream a lot, and I do remember your name. I don't remember where we left off our conversation, though. So, yeah.
Doesn't matter. I'm kind of starting anew. But it's
all right, let's go.
The same thing.
I like it.
All right. My statement is, and it's going to be long before I get to the questions, but
okay,
it'll all be there. My statement is, state violence is required for a just world.
Woo!
Yeah. And I have a question before I get into my little spiel I've written. So, at some point, do you think it's important for America to eventually have a law against exploiting animals, much like we have laws against human slavery?
I don't think that would be very effective, but I expect that to happen, I guess. Are you asking me? I forget what was the verb in that sentence? Do I believe there should be, or do I believe there will be?
Do you believe it's important to have this law, just like we have the law against human slavery?
Not really. No.
So it's not on the books, so people can go ahead and still exploit animals, even though we don't want them to.
I don't think it's effective to pass laws against exploitation because people will always find ways to exploit those that they think are less thans. So consider this. We made slavery, you mentioned slavery, we made slavery illegal. And did that solve racism? No.
No, but you can get arrested if you've enslaved someone. So
Sort of. If you enslave people in certain ways, we've made it so that people aren't born into slavery. I think is the biggest difference today. Like you can't be born a slave, but you could still be a slave. I mean, we have an
I
over.
think I think what my point is, it's important to have it on the books, just so we understand as a society
Sure.
what the
Yeah.
rules.
Yeah, I just don't think that it's. I guess it's a weird question for me because I've thought so much about the efficacy of bans. I don't think that bans without. I guess it's a chicken and egg situation,
No,
right?
I'm not saying that the public isn't behind it. I'm saying once the public is behind it, we go ahead.
Codify it.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess like, what's the harm at that point, right?
Right. All right. So that's kind of my basic, you know, grounding point for what I'm going to say next. All right.
Okay.
Let's consider a flip is switched tomorrow, and all the populations are randomly split up, and we only have 3 countries in the world. One is capitalist, much like America, where there are people of extreme wealth and extreme poverty.
Mm-hmm.
One is anarchist, where there are mature and immature people. And one as Sky, the benevolent dictator, meaning that you will enforce everything you believe in with one caveat, that you have no problem being dictator and that using the sky-loving military and police to make things happen. I.e. maybe free education, free healthcare, free food, perhaps free shelters,
King of the world.
Mm-hmm. Right. All the things that you think are just, you can kind of enforce. And in this country, there are friends of Sky, and there are people who liked life better before Sky.
Indeed.
All right. So my question is, for the capitalist country, how long do you think it's going to take to get veganism passed into law? And will the rich likely be punished if they break the law?
Another interesting question. This law thing is going to be a sticking point for me, man. I'm sorry to add more friction to this. I don't mean to, but it is a call-in show and it's kind of a debate show. But it's hard for me to go along with this. Like, how long do I think it'll take to pass the laws? I'm not really interested in passing the laws. I'm not really interested in this legislative process, even though I support those who are, like the pro-animal future folks.
We're thinking it as this American country, just how we said at the beginning. Are we just codifying what everyone already is behind? So how long, like pretend we have a law against diddling children, right? In this country, you can't really do that. But,
unless you're rich.
Yeah, exactly. Unless they're rich. So I'm just saying, veganism is something you'd like to get behind. So
Sure.
How long would it take to codify that in a capitalist?
I don't know. I think it's faster than we think. Like starting from now, I think it's faster than we think because we're seeing the rising costs of late stage capitalism and how that's affecting the price of animal flesh. And how quickly the technology is going right now for plant-based or just animal-free, I should call it, because they're not all plant-based, right? Animal-free protein. I think that the future is really friggin' close with that. Passing that into law and getting everyone in America to agree about this stuff. I don't know, man. We got 50 different states. It's a big
25
country.
years, maybe? 25 years?
I think for a national ban, I mean,
being optimistic.
I think that more likely, let me alter it just a tiny bit. I think within 25 years we will have an anti-breeding law. It'll be against the law to breed animals.
All right, these are kind of quick questions. These are kind of quick answers, so I can kind of get.
Yeah, and I'm just shooting from the hip here. Okay, I'm not like, I don't know, like it'll be a weird argument if it's like, well, you said 25 years, and it's like, well, I'm just pulling numbers out of my ass. But go ahead.
All right, so it's going to take 25 plus years, right?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
For the anarchist country, where there's not all mature people, and some of the mature people who are there are not vegan, and some are immature, and they're probably going to remain immature. Does veganism ever happen for the whole country? And if so, how do you stop people who really want to eat cows?
Great question. My God. Does vegan ever happen in an anarchist world? I think the actual definition of veganism, which is a liberation movement for all animals, and the only goal of which is to end the enslavement of animals at the hands of human beings, is definitely going to happen quicker in the anarchist scenario. Yeah, there might be outliers. There might be some weirdos that rape animals in the forest, for all I know. But in an anarchist society, where people are where the only thing that's sacred is liberty, is definitely acknowledging the liberty that's desired by all animals. So I think much more quickly.
All right, and what about for benevolent dictator Sky? How long does veganism take?
The dictator, I mean, it's always faster, right? It's always faster with the dictator. 24 hours?
Yeah. See, I guess that's kind of what I'm going behind is, and you can do the same question when you're dealing with diddling children.
Yeah.
You know, I guess my goal is how do we get to the just world as fast as possible? And I think it requires some state violence because, dictator Sky is going to have to, enforce some, rules and, make sure people aren't killing or diddling children, So
yeah.
how do you do that?
Well, it actually is one of the old questions, right? And it's funny because this question came up in the DEI conversation yesterday in a weird way, and we didn't get to go through it because the caller called me a bunch of names and then ran away. But one of the things about monocultural, it's really easy to get things done quickly when everyone has the same opinion, looks the same, is the same religion, speaks the same language, and is following one leader. You could get things done very, very quickly, but you're going to make more mistakes because you don't have the diversity of perspectives. You're going to make more, you're going to be more fragile because you haven't prepared for any, you haven't kind of thought things through. You haven't seen the upcoming disasters.
Right, but I guess what I'm saying is, benevolent dictator Sky is still going to kind of pivot in a direction where he, has thinking about things in different perspectives and, making sure he's not doing anything wrong.
Dictator Sky is still going to have blind spots, and you can mitigate those blind spots through diversity of thought and diversity of perspective.
Yeah, you could have a cabinet. I'm not saying you can't have.
You have a brain trust or something, sure. But I would still say that the speed isn't worth the trade. It's not worth it to make it happen more quickly. And I guess I'm probably going to get a bunch of flack from a bunch of vegan activists who are like, what do you mean? If you get it done tomorrow, you save 1 million animals or whatever it is, right? You save hundreds of billions of trillions of animals if you could do it tomorrow by decree. Yeah, but it's more fragile. The second the law is gone or the second Sky dictator is dead, it all goes back. It's horribly fragile. Yes. And so I'm not willing to trade security for speed, or I'm not willing to trade longevity and strength for speed and easiness.
All right. Well, this is I came to the same conclusion, and I'm glad we're thinking in the same direction.
Nice.
So as soon as the benevolent dictator goes down, then it's all up for grabs, right? But what if you had? Yeah, what if you just had authoritarian communism where it's a group and a state and a structure, and if one guy dies, it doesn't really matter because they're all working for the common good?
That's a great question that's actually applicable today. The institution is usually stronger than the individual, and we see that in Iran, right? It's really easy to take out some dictators because they've made it just a cult of personality. I think MAGA without Donald Trump doesn't exist anymore because then they haven't done the hard work of creating institutions like they had in Iran. They killed the Ayatollah Khamenei and his wife and his kids. They kill all these people who are at the top. It doesn't matter because the institutions are ingrained. The institutions are deep and heavy. So you're right. The institutions are harder to dismantle, but they still become they still become kind of their rigidity is debilitating, and I think that they're still more fragile than the kind of democratic consensus. I
You
mean,
think you think they're more fragile in what way?
well, look at Iran, right? Iran, they're not going to go easily. They're going to put up a bigger fight than Venezuela, but they're still just going to get pounded. They're still. It'll take longer to kill them all, but they'll get
Yeah.
them.
Well, you're talking about the biggest superpower in the world that has the most money. I'm talking about,
Yeah, it's
I said
true.
flip the switch. We have three equally divided countries.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
know,
I mean, it's hard with the I guess with the hypothetical, but it is definitely something to consider when we're talking about institutions and how difficult it is to fight them. And as an activist, I know how hard it is to fight the institution because a lot of times people, like a lot of people in America, care about animals. We're a nation of animal lovers and all of this, and yet the institutions convince you that the only way to get your protein is from cows and shit like that. So it's hard to fight institutions, but I don't know. Is that preferable to the democratic way? Is I don't know. I don't think so.
well, I think, communism doesn't have to necessarily not be democratic.
No, like a real communist country is stateless, but you were talking about like communist authoritarianism, right?
Yeah, but
It's a
you could
very
still have a
different.
democratic version of that. You could still vote for people.
But I guess you know what I think I got a kind of a cheat code for this one though, because for me, any government that, and this is all of them by the way, every government is in existence by violence or by threat of violence or starvation, some horribly negative kind of club, right? That's a truncheon that will beat your skull in, and the institutions usually they have to rely on that. They have to be like the institution says, "Stop eating meat, or I'm going to kill you. Stop eating cows, or I'm going to kill you," and that's unethical.
Well, what would Benevolent Sky do in that same circumstance?
Benevolent Sky, like Sky Daddy, Benevolent Sky would, in a dictatorship, exactly. I don't think that you could do it in a dictatorship. I think a dictatorship also has to have the threat of violence to survive.
I know. I'm saying you're okay with that, but you
I'm
don't
not
have
okay
to,
with it.
No, but you don't have to kill them. Prison is also violence. You could do
Sure.
some sort of, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm against the
Or
threat of
you could just
violence.
take them to some re-education place where they,
Mhm.
maybe they learn morals, maybe they learn how to share, maybe they learn about empathy for others, something like that.
Yeah, I think that'd be interesting. But if it's the institution or a person making that decision, you're still falling into ethical quicksand. You're in a quagmire you can't get out of because you'll just end up becoming more and more corrupt until you rot, and then you have revolution again. Because that seems to be the cycle, right? We have some kind of catalyst that creates the next generation, that creates all these institutions, right? And these institutions.
I guess what I'm saying is, I can't think of a better idea. You might be right about revolution. I can't think of something that is better than a benevolent dictator or a benevolent like group government where rights are not getting taken away from immigrants, citizens, people, period. Animals,
But they're taken away from all of us. There's no such thing as a benevolent dictator. There's no such thing as a benevolent state when you're threatening violence. There's no such thing as an ethical state in these cases. Why do you think they're better?
I have a question. So if someone's getting beat up, and you come in and you get the guy off the person who's getting beat up, aren't you a hero? Aren't you the good guy?
Yeah, but extemporaneous things like that. I mean, like I'm against killing people, but if you broke into my house, I'd shoot you. Like extemporaneous.
No, but I'm saying the government does the same role.
The government does not do the same role. The government codifies everything and says if you break any of our rules, we're going to kill you or beat you to death
I'm talking about
enslave
Benevolent Sky. If you see people fighting, you break it up. You're the good guy, right?
I suppose.
Right.
Yes, maintaining order of some kind, sure.
And the people around will cheer for you. They'll support you.
I've heard what they've cheered for. I'm not pleased by the cheers or the boos.
No, they're cheering for you. You're helping the person
I'm
who's
helping
getting killed
beaten.
or beaten
Hmm.
or
I'm appealing to their higher engine. What if the guy getting beat up is a Nazi? Well, then maybe I let it go. But okay, but why do you say better? You said that those two, the benevolent dictator or the entrenched institution, is better than a slow, high friction democracy. Why do you say better?
well, what the democracy that's why I had to put it into the camps with capitalist or anarchist or something like
Yeah.
that. Because if we take it into a capitalist democracy, the people with the money will always have the power. So it's going to be really slow, or it gets to revolution and then it starts all over again.
Hmm.
After revolution, the way I see it is it goes to anarchy. And
You
then
say the
people
people with
look,
the
then people want structure. So then they start trying to make structure because it's just too much. And they want leaders. So then it just evolves back to
but
some
just
sort of
like we talked
capitalism.
about last time, buddy, it's not a structureless society. Anarchy is not structureless. It's more like institutionalist, systemless. It's we aren't forcing people to be part of our system. Everything is consensual, and we try to reach. They have councils, like usually in anarchistic kind of ones that we've seen in real life that have grown organically, or the ones that have been thought about with anarchist thinkers. They talk about direct democracy, and it is high friction and it takes more time and it's slower, but you do tend to have fewer blind spots. You make fewer mistakes. They tend to have more safer societies. So when you said like there's always going to be someone amassing more wealth and then the rich have more power. Well, in anarchism, that doesn't happen because there's nothing to hoard. There's nothing to hoard because the land is communal, the labor is a gift, and money becomes not really necessary except as like
Yeah,
a
but you're
portable.
assuming there's not going to be any conflict. And when conflict does
No, I'm not.
arise,
Conflict is conflict is necessary
so
and inevitable.
how do you mediate conflict if you don't have violence?
Well, there's lots of ways to mediate conflict without violence. We know that it just takes a lot
So
more time. You got to talk
I
about
have a
stuff. But
huge acreage full of cows, and I love to kill a cow every day and eat it.
except in anarchism, you don't own that acreage. You don't own that acreage.
I know, okay,
We all own it.
okay, we all own it, but I have to
Yeah.
live somewhere. So I take my cows around with me wherever.
Yeah. Yeah, you're shepherding cows around the
Sure.
you're
Yeah.
you're nomadic or something.
How do
Yeah.
you change life for the better? You can talk to me all you want, but I'm still doing it. So
I think it's interesting that this is a weird assumption that people are still going to do things that are one difficult, two bloody and kind of emotionally fraught.
I like the taste of cow.
Okay,
What do you want from me?
okay. It's difficult to stop people from raping, right? And you're right.
Exactly.
I can't stop everyone from doing it. But when you're talking about like enslaving large numbers of cows or whatever, in this scenario, there's no motive, right? There's no way to make
Well, where
a
I
bunch
live,
of
there's
money.
like harsh
There's-
winters, and that's the only thing that keeps there. That's
Well, that's a really interesting. Now that is kind of interesting. If we went to kind of more like early America, where post Columbian exchange, right? We're talking like settlers in the West and stuff. They would have a pig, and that pig would eat their scraps all year. They'd throw them the corn on the cob, whatever the humans didn't eat, the pig would eat. And then once
yeah.
a
I
year
love
they
my cows, but
yeah,
I'm
and
gonna
then
eat
once
them. So.
and then once a year they'd kill one pig. And they'd have a feast. Like they ate. People think that people were eating animals all day long every day back in the old days. They weren't. That's why we're all fat today and full of diabetes. They weren't eating that many animals back in the day, or they ate very. Even if they did,
I killed cows a year. How about that?
I mean, it'd be less of a discussion, wouldn't it? It'd be something that
No,
would
I'm
be.
saying my argument is benevolent Sky won't allow for any cows to be eaten, and everyone
allow
around
for-
me is going to get on board because they know what the rules are.
Yeah, as a dictator, you're asking me if as a dictator, but of course I'm not a dictator, and I wouldn't want to be a dictator. It's funny. Someone said today, "Sky for president," and I was like, "Fuck no! I wouldn't ever want that. I'd love to be a senator or a congressperson where I can maybe represent people,
So
but
you
being the
wouldn't want to
asshole
be a
that goes around
dictator
telling other people
and
what to
have
do,
benevolent and spread your benevolent good and see how
no."
the world flourishes. Really?
No, because spreading your benevolent good is always an evil for people that don't want it. You cannot force people to do shit they don't want to do. You can only take away their excuses and their motivations. And what I'm trying to do when I'm talking with people about animal slavery is, hey, are you against slavery? And if you are, you get to be whatever kind of person you want to be in this life. And I think you'll be a happier person if you align your actions with your values.
Well, I guess we'll leave it there. I do remember you said, benevolent Sky would
Yeah.
have veganism day one.
Yeah,
Which
but I said that because I thought you were. Yeah, I mean, again, this is your scenario and hypothetical, not mine. But I would probably not accept the job of benevolent dictator. But if I was forced into it, and it was a scenario where magically I have to be the dictator, of course I'd say no fucking killing. That's the first thing every god in every religion says. No more killing. That's what every single one, without exception, they all say that. And yet then the humans get that, like, thou shalt not kill. Oh no, it's actually thou shalt not kill only under certain circumstances, under these parameters. But if the government tells you to go kill people, it's a-okay. And also, even though Jesus was really against killing animals, it's okay to do that too. It's just like, it's all this mealy-mouthed, wishy-washy bullshit anyway. You could literally have God tell you not to kill, and people will still make excuses to kill. So why are they going to listen to a dictator?
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Everyone's going to do what they want to do for the most part. But
we do it now, don't we? I mean,
yeah, but as benevolent dictator, you could have education K through 12, where everybody learns empathy and everybody learns that other people
that would be better. Yeah, I guess you're right. If because that wasn't the question. The question was, would I ban slaughter first day? Yeah, probably. But a better way to do it would be, you're totally right. Teach empathy K through 12. Instead of beating empathy out of children, allow it to flourish. Actually,
yeah, and then eventually you could wipe your hands of being the dictator and say,
yes,
I think
I
the
like that
country
idea.
is ready for anarchism.
I like that idea. It's kind of almost Marxist, where we have to have a short time after the revolution where it's very strictly controlled, and then you have to have a second revolution to overthrow those bastards. So yeah, I mean, that's we a lot of political theorists have talked about a similar stepping stone scenario. But just one last thing, because we're talking about teaching empathy, and it occurs to me that we don't have to teach people empathy. We simply have to stop beating it out of children, because that's what America and capitalism does, right? We tend to say these are the motives and here's how to get them, and we reward selfishness, we reward greed, we reward turning off the piece of your humanity that feels sorry for others or wants to care for others. And that's all we have to do. We have to stop that, and we get a long way. Like, we don't maybe have to have a new K through 12 empathy program. We just have to dismantle capitalism, and we get pretty far.
I'll totally get on board with that.
So. All right. Sounds like a plan. I appreciate you calling back, man. I really, you know what? It touches me that you actually gave a shit enough to think about what we're talking about. And I think about these, because after I shut down the stream, man, I'm thinking about these conversations, having dinner, I'm thinking. So I'm glad I'm not the only one. And I really appreciate you calling. All right, buddy, pal?
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, man. All right. We have one more. Let's see if Ding Dang Do is ready for an ideological battle. Okay, Ding Dang Do says he's ready. He's 39 years old.
Hello.
And he's here. Welcome to the show, Ding Dang Do.
How you
Welcome
doing?
welcome
How's
to
your day?
Ari the Mermaid. Ding dang do.
Ari the Mermaid. She's a cutie pie.
You like her, huh? What do you think about her show?
She's attainable. She's not too hot. That's the thing, you know what I mean? Like, she's somebody that I could pull.
Forget about
If
the
I could just argue well
objectification of the
enough.
girl. Look, she's a woman who does her job well. I think she has a great speaking voice. She's
The
very
fuck she does.
eloquent.
No,
She's
dude, a Google
articulate.
search is not an argument. I'm sorry. No.
She's articulate. No,
No, I'm
okay,
sorry,
fine. But she isn't arguing the things
No.
that she's arguing facts, which seems really boring to me. But
The first thing she does when you enter the room is like she makes you make a claim and then start backing it up. The average person is not prepared for that type of activity, my friend. That is why it immediately
true.
goes into a shit show.
yes,
She knows
but that's
exactly
because
what she's doing, my friend.
well, that's a debate bro tactic. It's all debate bro stuff. I'm not trying to have a debate
Mhm.
bro show, which is why I don't have the debate word up here. I try not to have the word debate anywhere here.
Do you notice
name is-
why I always take it to morality, bro? I mean, because I watched these people for so long, I realize we're just making moral arguments at the end of the day. If you want to pull up X or Twitter or Grok and get sources, we could find sources to make virtually any claim
It's
we
true.
want. So we
I
don't
like the
do
bigger
numbers.
questions. I completely agree. I do numbers, but I normally don't rely on them too heavily because again, they can be skewed, and they can be used depending on who's doing the counting. I mean,
Like yesterday, I took the lowest number you could give on immigration, illegal immigration.
yeah, because
Like
we're
you said,
talking about
You said 12,
11
and I
million.
said, oh, no, 6. And then assume
Yeah.
that I have the worst possible intentions and then justify morally my the reason
Yeah,
why
I
I
mean,
have to pay
I don't
for
know
it.
if you heard. It's something that might speak to you, but Chrissy Nome and the DHS released numbers saying that 2 million people self-deported with the DHS CBP home app, and they found out now time has gone by. It cost us over $1 billion. I think it's like $4 billion that we spent on this.
Woo!
It's billions of
That's
dollars.
cheap.
And 2 million people, right? Well, it turns out, of course, they were lying. It's closer to about 72,000, and about 40,000 of those were already in jail. So how many people voluntarily deported? About 32,000. So 32,000 people took, and if you guys remember the CBP home app, if you registered, they would give you $1,000 spending money and a free flight home. And then they raised it to $2,600 to be on it. They'll give it straight hard cold cash, $2,500, and then they'll buy you a ticket home. All you have to do is sign up with the Gestapo with your app. And
Even so, that's still the right path, I think. I mean, that's consent-based.
not
like
if
it.
they lie about 2 million people. They said 2 million people have self-deported, and she got on all the news stations and said, I remember when it happened, Steve, and I said, that's a bullshit number, fuck you. And you know what? It turns out it was. Now, reporting and audits, because
I'm
all of these...
definitely going to let Sky tell me what reality is when he I know that his perspective and spectrum love to shift definitions.
It's not shifting
willy-nilly.
definitions. I told you 70-something thousand took the money. 70-something thousand took the money.
77,000 took the money. We're
70, I think it's
77,000
72.
offered the money.
72,000.
How many people
I think.
were offered the money versus how many collected and actually left? That's a better question.
No,
Do you
because
have that
that's what
answer?
we're counting.
No.
What we're counting is how many people took the money.
Are we
That's
counting
what we
people
know.
that got paid, that actually got paid?
Yeah, that they gave money to and gave free flights to. And,
So
and took
could
them
there
up.
be a number that is larger than that actually left, assuming they were going to be paid? Yet we're not.
Yeah, there is a number. There's an estimate. It's far less than 2 million. It's like a few thousand self-deported and never contacted the government for the free money because they were just afraid of being apprehended. But yeah, sure, I'm sure that, and we know just anecdotally that some people.
Well,
but
I mean, I
there's
would never even argue that 2 million, but that would be a fantastic way to
2
get people
million
hours to pay them to leave.
2 million is a giant number. I mean, think about that. That's a third of all the Jews that the Germans killed. A third.
No, let's go do that. Fucking hell yeah, Sky.
Anyway, so you wanted to talk about something today?
Just that you're bullshit. And that Ari's not making good faith arguments.
Ari isn't? Okay, hold on. There's a guest on this. There's a great chat. Let's go vegan, then we can all eat plastic food. James, love that spirit, but you'll be happy to know that most of the plastic that we're consuming isn't actually coming from plastic water bottles or the lining in the cans in your beer. It's actually in the blood of the animals you're eating. Ain't that weird? Look it up. Plastic is in the animals because of what we're feeding them, how we're feeding them, how quickly we're feeding them. So if you're worried about plastic, well, you're in luck. You can stop eating animals and cut by a drastic amount. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt you, Steve, but you're saying that I was trying to be nice about Ari because I'm a little bit jealous and I don't want to seem like I'm...
If you had some nice titties and you were in a level village, you'd get a bunch of viewers too, but, you know.
All I have is you.
Right.
Yes. Yes, bioaccumulation. There you go. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Thank you very much. Plastic bioaccumulates in animals. Bingo. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. You can look it up. Check the facts. Also, that's the other thing. Check the facts. Check me. Question authority. So
what today? You just okay. Yeah.
Well, I had a question for you. No, you're not boring me. I had a question for you, actually.
Okay.
GoFundMe for Sky's nice tits. I guess they could just show my balls. I mean, but I don't really want to have I don't want to have an OnlyFans. I don't think you can be taken seriously. This is what's so sad is that Ari, you know, I think she's doing okay work, and it's not just the debate show. I think her debate show is kind of boring, but like her a lot of these creators make a lot of videos in their cars, and I've seen things where she like talks about the news in her car because she like finds out something, and for some reason every American has to do videos from their cars. And I thought it was pretty good. I think she's articulate when she does stuff like that, just like her hot takes. Right. But I think it's kind of sad that the first thing that you said, and I'm not demonizing you because I think it's probably a pretty common reaction, is that immediately, oh, she's cute, she's attainable, she's kind of hot. And it's like, I think that is so sad. Women will never be taken seriously because of that type of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely not like a part of my brain that I have absolutely no control over how it evolved. You're right. It's just I chose that. In fact, my mother and father were like, Stephen, whenever you see a fat-titted white girl, you're not going to take her seriously. You're just going to try to get in her pants. And they taught me that, Sky, and I took it to heart. And now I have just lived it my whole life. You've been completely vindicated on all your dumb shit ideas. Sorry, bro. Yeah, you've been right the whole time. I've just been lying to you to try to get you to be racist or some shit.
I don't know what dumb ideas you think I'm having here, but I like it. Hey, so
wow, yeah, the idea that these baseline human traits are taught and reinforced.
I'm not blaming. I said I'm not demonizing you. I said that.
No, but these are ideas that I know exist in your head.
Sad. It's sad.
No, I know you have that idea in your head.
You said it.
I know it does.
The first thing you said was women. You said that Ari. I was saying, hey, you know, she makes pretty good content. I don't want to talk shit. I just think that is Trump a bad guy is kind of a boring topic. I've got 5 topics here, and I'm having a hard time getting people to come on the show and talk about them. And I also bring your own battle. Anybody can come onto my show and talk about anything. I try to leave it open enough so that we can have a robust conversation, and yet still people will call Ari, and then the first thing you say is, well, she's got nice tits, and it's like, well, I guess that's
I'm
sad.
of the right. I don't have to construct little play realities where my mind has to sit like little circles. I don't draw there and to draw the little circles on the ground and only play within those. I'm of the right, my guy, so you should have expected nothing different.
It's funny you say of the right, but there's plenty of Democrats that say the N-word and don't like women. That's pretty common. There's plenty of vegan misogynists. So anyway, back to the thing that I wanted to ask you about. Yesterday I had a caller, and I think you were still listening, and you said cooked. You said cooked at the end. I guess you thought that I cooked that guy about how he thinks that
he started
Israel...
strong, but the thing he tried to do was he tried to lock you in on terms and words and facts and definitions, and I've already covered why that's just impossible in this day and age, because a Google search can give you both the correct line of reasoning and then an exact counter for it. So it's
But
like
here's
he
the other
tried to
thing.
win an argument that he couldn't.
The thing about what I thought was interesting about that, he was, I think, 21 or 20 years old. And if people don't, let me catch everybody else up if they weren't listening. A guy called in, he took DEI is National Strength. That's the fourth option here. And he wanted to argue that DEI was not national strength and that actually monoculturalism makes a nation stronger than pluralism. And the first thing he started talking about was all these other countries, right? And you have
Right.
first he says Japan. Japan has an aging population. It's in major trouble. They're actually opening their immigration policy in order to bring more people in because of it. Then I think he mentioned Israel. Israel basically exists because of our globalist weirdness that we're basically just funding Israel. Israel doesn't exist unless we give them a country and defend their country for them and pay for them. So that's not strength. Although they do have they do have a more diverse culture.
Oh my
than people
God,
think.
dude! What are we talking about? You're not going to draw me down this. We're not going to have that conversation. What is strength? Okay, is strength that you have a bridge outside that you can cross with a car and go get fucking groceries from wherever they're at? Is that
Yeah.
strength? Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Well,
right,
then
so-
they're strong compared to many other places in the world. What are we actually saying when we say
Not
strength?
compared to us. Not compared to us. But then, because you have the lost Einstein effect is really what I'm getting at. But when I say the strength thing, I'm not really having that
You're
argument
saying
with
the
you
U.S.
right now.
is strong, right? Yeah. Okay. So have we destroyed Iran? Are they still fighting? Do they have any planes left? Do they have any boats left? Are they still fighting us? Are we strong? Are they weak?
I think they're weaker than we are. Yeah, for sure.
They have no army left. Did we win?
Yeah. I don't know what winning means here. You say that you same thing you always say about definitions. We'd have to determine what winning means. The
Are they
president
still
hasn't
fighting?
even- the
Can they still
president
do
hasn't
what
even
they
said
could do
that.
before we started?
What are the
Can they still
objectives
strike
here?
strips? I would have to ask DJT what his objectives were, but obviously, if we haven't defeated them after we've blown away all of their hard assets, they were obviously strong, quite strong,
Yeah.
strong enough to resist. Do you know why
Yeah.
they still exist? Probably because the 35,000 people that would have helped us overthrow their government a few months ago were gunned down in the street. Dead. They're dead. That's very strong. When you kill 35,000 people that will eventually get a bunch of guns and try to overthrow you, you tend to be pretty strong relative to us, right? How many people are we willing to gun down to get our political way?
Definitely 30,000. I mean, we do it. We
Well, you've
ask
lost your appetite at
Ask the
33.
Taliban, I guess. Ask the Taliban.
You've lost your appetite at 33, or the two protesters. So,
Yeah, for sure.
all right, well, then we're not as strong as them. So,
If
okay.
strength, if
That's
strength
one
is
way of saying
it. Yeah, that is one way of saying it. If you think that strength is killing people, for your political ends, I don't think that that's strength. I think that's also weakness if your people don't support you as is. I mean, Machiavelli actually talks about this, that if you have to hire a mercenary army and you are killing people in the street who disagree with you, you failed as a leader. You're a failure.
Right. Sure, we could define you could define whatever you want to make you seem like you're on top morally, but
We could probably have a
Here
show
again-
about it. We could probably have a show about it. But what I'm usually saying, what I'm convinced of is that when we leave the Einsteins of the world on the table, because we say, well, that Einstein's black, brown, woman, whatever, we're not going to give that Einstein any opportunity, or Jewish. Einstein was a Jew from Germany. If we're not going to give those people any access to opportunity, then we are weaker, because then we don't get the intelligence that's unseen. We never find the diamonds in the rough. Now, the reason why I'm bringing everybody up to speed on this and what my position is that this guy, you said I think the way he derailed was because he started talking and degrading affirmative action. And it's weird because, like, affirmative action isn't DEI. They're very different things. DEI, if anything, is like the new thing that we have because we found that affirmative action wasn't working properly. Like,
Right.
that the quota stuff wasn't the right way to go. And even if people's hearts were in the right places, whatever you want to say.
The left would have never surrendered that, even though they knew it was not working, and it was engendering all of the animosity and the stereotypes around
Maybe
DEI
you're right.
hires. They would have, no, there's no, oh my God, maybe I'm right.
Well,
Skyjack
the reason
Morgan,
why I
they
say
would have never given it up.
I can tell you,
People are insane.
I could say I'm insane because I said maybe you're right. I'm trying to give you ground.
I'm
I'm
obviously
insane.
right. Trump. I don't even know if it's actually ended. So I'm so ignorant on this. You're going to trap me here in a moment.
I don't want to trap you, because the only thing I'm trying to say is that if people are going to argue against DEI by bringing up the quotas from affirmative action, which have been abandoned, then it's like you're not even in the right century, bro. And this guy's like, what I think
you're saying, like, you abandoned the ideas. You generally think they're still a good idea, though. You still generally agree that it's on the right track, even though it clearly it could obviously lead to lowering standards and thus more industrial accidents. That's obvious. I mean, okay, you're just going to have to eat more industrial accidents, guys, because this is the right way.
Again, okay, we're not doing quotas. The quotas are a thing of the past. That's not a thing that we do anymore. It's not part of DEI.
I would have to ask, like, I want to hear that from like Starbucks. I want to see how many people they're hiring in their offices for all of those tech jobs and stuff like that. Are they still hiring black people who scored like 10 or 12 points lower on some sort of test?
Only thing, think of it as a funnel, right? The funnel gets wider. It's more of a question of metrics versus quota, and quota you could say fuck it, say it didn't work, whatever. I think that there's a more nuanced thing there, especially when it comes to education.
Sure, whatever. Okay.
Especially when it comes to education. But so what? Throw it all in the trash, because we've thrown the quota system in the trash, and now what we're attempting to do is broadening the funnel so that we get more applicants, so that we can get people who normally wouldn't be considered because they are black, deaf, gay, women, whatever.
Well, did we not go through this on the first Trump term? We realized that, like, these higher industries of learning were grading white people, like a white person of a certain quality was not the same as a black person of the same of a different quality, right? Weren't they
usually
doing
the white
some
person
shit
is
like
underqualified?
that?
Usually the white person is underqualified, actually, because the white person usually gets considered because of his dad went to the same school, or his brother works at the company, or his cousin plays golf with the CEO. White people have a lot of those connections.
I'm sure that got into, sure. Okay, I would give you that. That sounds like, what do they call that?
Yeah, well, it's called cronyism or whatever you want to call it.
Okay, well, I'm
nepotism.
sure that happens.
Yeah. So great. So DEI is really only saying, okay, let's widen it so we're not just hiring our brother's roommate and shit like that. Let's look at more people.
Are you really trying to say, like, answer this and then I'll probably agree with what you're saying. Are you trying to say that ideology cannot turn toxic?
The bigger funnel?
Are you trying to say that what you're advocating for cannot be applied in a way that is toxic towards other people, like a Chinese student, a white, and a black? They've all got, like, roughly the same shit. That black guy's getting in, right? That's what happened.
No, I think
if that happens, instead of like flipping a coin or rolling a 3-sided die and saying fuck it, nobody cares, they actually chose the black guy over everybody else, and then that is racism. You're saying that if that was allowed to go unchecked and it got as bad or as good as you like it, it couldn't be used in a toxic way to hurt other applicants. I think you're full of shit, and I could probably find examples, and it wouldn't matter because you're just going to be Groundhog's Day tomorrow, and you're still going to wake up a crazy leftist.
No, how about this? How about this? Let's just for debate's purposes, let's give it to you that yes, because every tool can be used in a toxic way to hurt others, okay? But I would counter not by saying that you're wrong, but by saying already the status quo right now is hurting people. It's hurting people who are just as qualified or just as talented, but aren't getting even in the interview because their name is different, or because they're from the wrong neighborhood, or because their dad just doesn't play golf with the CEO. And so all we're saying is with DEI is like, let's have a wider mind and a wider net when we're taking in applicants so that we can start considering some of these people.
Yeah, but we've seen like it's a new age, Sky. It's not like it is in the 80s, bro. Everything goes viral. Everything that engenders outrage is a fucking tool that can be used by the politically powerful, these very sophisticated entities to gin up rage. That's how DJT got into office, baby.
Yeah.
Are we not seeing that yet?
I don't.
So
I
all
don't
they
think
need
that that's
is
that, I
one
don't think that's
example
different.
of some fuck shit, or something they can even spin as one example, and the whole project comes toppling down, and we reset because I'm angry because I'm white. I got fucked over because a black guy got the job I wanted. That might not necessarily be true, but I feel that way, and I'm too
Yes.
stupid to go figure it out if I'm not. And if I wanted to go prove, if I wanted to actually dig and find out the answer, I get blocked by the state because the state doesn't want to tell. It doesn't give a fuck about answering to me if I have questions.
Well, you know how I feel about the state, and you know how I feel about transparency. I think that these processes should be entirely transparent. But
well, what if
that is not
were
mean
blocking
that
me? I mean, come on.
But that still holds to my
do it.
Huh?
You would do it at some point. I would come to a point where you're blocking me from something because it's inconvenient for you.
Inconvenience doesn't mean that you're not allowed in. Inconvenience could be a lot of things because it's easier to hire, for example, my friend who plays golf with my dad. It's easier for me to do that. So that's kind of the status quo. We're going to hire the guy who plays golf with my dad. Oh, he's white. Great. It kind of sucks that black people aren't allowed into the golf club, but that's just the way it is.
Come on, bro. I would rather play golf with a millionaire black guy than like
you would. The truth is, we're not quite there where we have that as the status quo. And when you said something really interesting, you said that it's not like it's not the 80s. No, I think this more represents things like the 40s. I think a lot of what we're doing represents the late 20s, 30s, 40s, where there was a lot of rage about Europeans fleeing Europe because of persecution, conquest, and also their religion. And they would come to this country and they would get these jobs in professorships. They would take jobs in the military, in the government. Henry Kissinger came here. We had all sorts of people coming over. Einstein himself came here. And he took jobs from people, and people got really enraged. But because we had a more diverse perspective, we had the best minds. We got the nuclear weapon first. We had the best military because we had all these people thinking about stuff in different ways.
So stupid. None of that shit's going to matter in 7 years, dude. It literally, a human mind is going to be like the dirt under my shoes right
Maybe
now
you're right.
in 7 or 8 years. So none of this shit matters. I'm just going to, I'm going to go. You enjoy the rest of your show. I'm going to watch the rest of your show. None of this shit matters, bro. None of this matters. What really matters is how do we not get fucked in the ass?
Well, I like,
by the elites. That's all that matters.
Just remember that there's two types of nihilism. There's the passive nihilist who thinks, oh, nothing matters, so poor me, I guess we're all victims. Or there's the active nihilist who says, well, nothing matters, so hey, maybe we should try our best to make the world a better place.
Well, I'm still listening. Am I not? I'm not like ignoring you. I'm saying, Sky, lead us. You know what I mean? I'm sitting here. Steve. Maybe you'll inspire me, and I'll bring the inspiration back to you one day, and we will think, oh, this will work. I highly doubt
without
that, but
you inspire me every day because you know what? Thought
it's not beautiful. I knew it.
Thank you, Ding Dang Do. Thank you. I'll see you. I'll talk to you soon.
Day,
thank you. All right. Ding Dang Do is off the air. Does anybody want to challenge me? Pick your battle. Come on the show. It's a dialectic. It's not a debate. We have 5 different and a bonus question. The bonus question is Americans need bidets. The Americans need bidets. What do you think? Joyous is trying to get someone to call. Who are you trying to get to call, Joyous? I want to show you something that I think is kind of cool. You ready? I think this is so neat. So I made this. Oh, never mind. I made this thing I thought was so cool. But anyway, so freedom means open borders. A nation that claims to value freedom while policing which humans may move across an imaginary line is not defending liberty. It's rationing it based on birthplace, a condition no one chooses. Frederick Douglass. What did Frederick Douglass say about it? I forget. What did Frederick Douglass say about this? Frederick Douglass, he's doing great things, Donald Trump. I know of no rights of race superior to the rights of humanity. Frederick Douglass, he said that. What do you think? He thought that everyone should have open borders because it's our right, our freedom of movement. Freedom, do you value it? Borders are a birth lottery, not a moral system. The accident of where you're born determines where your life outcomes, it determines more about your life outcomes than any choice you make. A free country that denies entry based on geography is enforcing inherited privilege, not earned rights. How much do you like the idea of a meritocracy? How come you're not having a meritocracy? So weird that we do this. I use a bidet in Italy. Are you still in Italy? Why don't you call on to the show, that vegan teacher? Bring your own battles. We're having an open forum, that vegan teacher. Call on to the show. You don't have to show your face. You can tell me what you think. Do you think animal production is slavery? That's the second one. Animal production is slavery. Of course it is. When a living being with the capacity to suffer, bond, and desire freedom is owned, confined, exploited, and killed for someone else's profit and pleasure, that is slavery. The species of the enslaved does not change the structure of the crime. Slavery. That vegan teacher. Is Katie going to come? Wouldn't it be cool if we had Katie on? That'd be pretty cool. I think it would be really fun to see Katie on. Slavery is the ownership of a sentient being, forced labor or use of their body, denial of autonomy, and killing at the owner's discretion. Animal-based production systems meet every criterion. Calling it something else is a language choice made by the people who profit. Are you against slavery or are you for it? What kind of person do you want to be? It's not a phone number. It's a link that is pinned in the chat. See, it says link in chat right here. It says call in, link in chat right on the screen. Call in, link in chat. You hit the link in the chat. Don't turn on your camera. You're on the air. What's going to matter when the economy goes from 5 trillion to 100 overnight? The only thing that matters is the split. Oh, interesting. The split, eh? Are you for equal split like pirates? You know what? Katie, a long time. You know what Katie did once? She did this thing. Let me see if I still have it. I think I do. Katie made this song. You want to hear it?
I'm vegan, of course. I'm vegan, of course. I'll never eat a chicken, pig, or cow, or ride a horse. I'm vegan, of course. I'm vegan steal eggs or milk from mothers or honey.
So subscribe to my channel. Come sit at my table and be vegan with me. Isn't that lovely? Isn't she incredible? We don't deserve to have that vegan teacher. She's so amazing. She's so great. I hope we one day for indeed. Hey, Tia Fireball, come on the show and take a shot. Bring your own battles. If you don't like something on the menu is here. Right now we're talking about animal production is slavery. Isn't that great? That vegan teacher, she charges $1,000 per cameo, but she wrote that song for me and my channel. Isn't that nice of her? Isn't that nice? Sky, you're looking at callers that have a brain. I like callers with a brain. You don't have to have a brain. Oh, come on, we could talk. I've talked with lots of people without brains over the years. It's all right. Yeah. Again, animals. Are you against slavery? Here we go. John Patrick says he likes slavery. See, there's people out there who think slavery is okay. Plenty of people think slavery is all right. And here's the thing. You get to be any kind of person you want in life. Are you pro-slavery or are you against slavery? Are you for liberty and freedom or are you against liberty and freedom? You get to be the type of person you want to be. That's pretty cool. Thank you for being here. But they're just animals. That's the same as they said about human slavery. Historically, enslaved humans were described as less intelligent, less feeling, more animal. The strategy of depersoning the enslaved to justify exploitation is identical. The argument proves everything. Your argument that they're not persons simply because they're animals is ridiculous. Here's a nice quote that you might not have heard. It's from this guy. His name's Martin Luther King Jr. You ever heard of him? Here he comes. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "One day the absurdity of the almost universal human belief in the slavery of other animals will be palpable. You will know how absurd your position is. Why are you so absurd? Why are you so absurd that you think it's okay to enslave animals? Ain't that crazy? We're only on number 2 and we don't have a caller. Will you call in? Do you have the guts?" That vegan teacher, I thought she was going to call in, but no. The desire to be free is not a human invention. Every animal in confinement, given the chance, moves towards space, special connection, and away from pain. Freedom is not a concept they need to articulate. It's a behavior they demonstrate. We are overriding that drive by force. That is what slavery does. One day, the absurdity of the most universal human belief in the slavery of other animals will be palpable. I think it's palpable right now, Martin Luther King Jr. Thanks. Thank you. How you treat animals you consider less than you is how the elite treat you, whom they consider animals. Very well said. Yeah, it's a slavery situation, master-slave situation. Some people, they just like slavery, man. What am I going to say about it? I'm going to check my Venmo right now, see if anybody needs to get thanked. We're going to check Venmo right this second. Let me see. Let me get past the Tulsi Gabbard. Okay, Tulsi Gabbard, Pam Bondi, Tulsi Gabbard and Pam Bondi. And it's just a blue screen. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let's see all these transactions. Thank you so much. I appreciate you very, very much. Dingleberry Jones. Thank you, Dingleberry Jones, for the wonderful $500 donation. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you supporting independent news. I didn't eat pork. That's good. Don't eat animals. Jesus went to the temple to free all the animals. He freed all of the birds. Sky, why don't you have a QR code on the screen? You like that QR code? All right, here's that QR code. All right, you ask and I deliver. Here's a QR code. Venmo, Skyjack23. The picture in the middle is going to be blue. I made this QR code when it was still yellow, but I like my color blue. But you can still see it's my face. Here it is, Skyjack23. There it is. You ask and you shall receive. There is the QR code for the Venmo. If you'd like to support independent media, please become a channel member because you will get exclusive footage. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. All right. Nice. Number 3. Since no one's here, we're just going to go through the arguments like you're not here. The political movement that most loudly claims the name of Jesus is the one most structurally opposed to everything Jesus actually taught. And the contradiction is not incidental. It's the point. MAGA is anti-Jesus. Why are you anti-Jesus, MAGA? It's so weird. Just stop it. Stop it. They might pull it back. $500. I just made that up, parallelish. Nobody gave me $500. I was just joking. I was just joking. No one gave me $500. Dingleberry Jones? No, there was nobody. No, I just made that up. There's nobody gave me any money on on Venmo. Nobody gave me any money on Venmo. Yes. You see religion as violent? Well, that's an interesting thing. You see religion as violent. Religion might be violent, but there's this guy named Jesus, and look what he said. He said, "Blessed are the peacemakers. Blessed are the merciful. Love your enemies." That don't sound violent at all. Jesus was explicit. Wealth is a spiritual danger. Look what Jesus said. Peacemakers, blessed are the merciful, love your enemies. That's from Matthew 5. What the heck? Jesus said it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. MAGA theology has inverted this. Why? Why does MAGA in theology? MAGA theology thinks poor people can't go to heaven. MAGA theology thinks poor people should be beaten in the street. Kill all those homeless people. MAGA likes to beat the brown man, beat the impoverished. If you're poor, you're worth nothing. If you're a poor child, they will buy and sell you. They toss your corpse in the desert. That's how they operate, MAGA. They hate children. They hate kids. MAGA hates kids. Buy the t-shirt. It's available in the shop right here. MAGA hates kids. Right under this, there's a MAGA hates kids in the shop on this channel. Prosperity gospel frames wealth as divine favor, as if God wants you to be rich. But that's not Christianity, baby. That ain't Christian. That's capitalism wearing a cross. Why do you think capitalism looks better with a cross around its neck? Oh, well, she's got blonde hair and she's wearing a white robe and she's got a cross around her neck. It must be okay, but that ain't Christianity, baby. That's just capitalism with a cross. Christianity says, give your money away to the homeless. Give it away. Just like, you know. It says that there is a link, but when I try to click on it, it doesn't go anywhere. Let me copy it into my mouse. Really? That vegan teacher, it's in the link right now. Boom. That vegan teacher, it's in the chat right now. Here it is. Click it, baby. I think you should be able to click that right there. You should be able to click it. Unless you're like, sometimes people with iPhones have problems. Hey, speaker, sorry, I have a cod. What do you got, hey speaker? What you got? Parallelist said, spend that money immediately because it's clearly a danger. A very generous man. Thank you so much for that. I never had one lesson on my stylophone. Thank you. $5 from Hey Speaker. So I'm going to have a cause supporting the channel. Can you click on that one? Give it away or tax write-off. That's right. Just like your boys over in that band, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, you should give it away now. Give it away now. That's what they said in that song. I think they were talking about Jesus or Bob Marley. I'm not really sure. But the Sermon on the Mount, that's Jesus. The Sermon on the Mount is a MAGA opposition document. Blessed are the meek. Blessed are the peacemakers. Blessed are those who hunger for justice. Love your enemy. Welcome the stranger. Care for the sick. Every single one of these teachings from Christ is in direct conflict with the policy agenda and a cultural posture of the MAGA movement. The MAGA movement is against caring for the sick. The MAGA movement is against caring for the poor. The MAGA movement hates the meek. They like the boisterous and the braggarts. Is Donald Trump meek? He likes to live loudly, as Senator John Kennedy says. You're okay with that? You're on an iPad and the StreamYard link you put in the chat isn't clickable? I think that's something going on with your Wait, hold on, but it's only like 7 letters. You can't remember 7 letters? Hold on a second. Where is it? Hold on a second. How come everybody else can click on it, but not you guys all of a sudden? Steve was just here. Bad Boy was just here. Buddy Boy was just here. The cross is made in China. I'm checking on another. Oh, look, I clicked on it just fine. I clicked on it. I'm on a. Here, maybe I should check on my phone. I'll check on my phone to see if it works. It's 10 and no one can remember. But parallel is, you can't click on it. When you click on it, it doesn't work. It works for me. Yeah, it opens right up for me. Let me try my phone. What is it with you guys and your janky ass phones? Here, I'm going to try on my phone. Try on my phone. Let's see what I got here. YouTube, got it. Okay, on the live stream. Here's the link. Ooh. It's because you're on your phone. It doesn't work on my phone. Interesting. That's a bummer. Okay, so we got to solve that problem with the call-in show. So I guess we got to solve that. We can't use people with their phones. We got to figure out how to do it so you can actually link. Wait a second. What if I put it in the... What if I put it in the description? Hold on a second. Let me see. Let me try that. I'm going to try to put it in the description. Maybe that will work. We're gonna figure that out. It's the last day of the call-in show this week, and by golly, we're gonna get some work done. Let's see. I'm gonna put it in the description of this. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna copy. There we go. Save. Okay, so now it's in the description of the episode. Okay. I can go description. I can click on it. Okay, so I cannot. Okay. Let me pause this so it's not annoying me. All right, here's how it's going to work. Check it out. Are you with me? StreamYard is weird, plus the link gets cut off too much text in the box, plus StreamYard won't let you have duplicate instance up. All right, so the way I did it, though, here I am in the chat. And I click the 3 dots at the top right here, and it gives me the description. I go to the description, and I can copy and paste it from here. It still won't hyperlink it from here, but I can copy and paste it from here. So if you want to come on the show, you can do that. I'm not sure why on the phone it does that. It's a little annoying, but maybe there's a way there must be a better way. There's got to be a better way. I don't want to set up the whole phone thing. I kind of like having a little bit. Some people have to be halfway smart to get on the show. How come other people have been able to do it? You say that StreamYard is a bit weird, plus the link gets cut off, too much text in the box. Or what if I'll do a reusable studio, and I'll make a URL that goes straight to here. That's what I'll do. I'll do that. Okay. I think that's what I'm going to do. They use QR on the screen. You think a QR on the screen will do it? Okay. I could do a QR. I could definitely do that. We'll put a QR on the screen so that vegan teacher can come on when she wants to. We're doing this all for that vegan teacher, so she will not have an excuse anymore for not coming on my show. How about that? The only thing that sucks is I'll have to redo this stupid QR every single time unless I figure it out. All right, we'll figure that out later. All right, we're going to just do a standard QR code. It's going to be a PNG, and here we go. Okay, I'm going to put it up here. Okay, there it is. There's the QR code to join the chat. If you would like to join the chat, you could do it right now. Join the chat. You could join the chat. How about that? Ain't that a something? Here you go. QR code is on the screen. I'm not sure if that will work. Your idea was better. I could make a dedicated URL that's just shorter, like skyjack.live/join or something like that. Skyjack/live stream or some shit. I'll just figure that out. Sky's head may be blocking. Jesus Christ, you guys. Jesus Christ. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. All right, everybody. If you want, you could join the chat right here. We fixed it. We have about 30 more minutes of this stream, and you can do it if you want to be on the show. Where is that vegan teacher? I'm sure she has it right now. Let's bring her on. She can bring your own battle. Perfectly willing to bring your own battle. Let's do it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for all of the memories. Thank you for all the memories. Critical thought means not thinking persons are things for their species. There you go, vegan anthem. Wonderful. All right, so this is the menu. Here's the menu right here. You should still be able to use it. You should be able to use it still. All right, so I put it up there. Hopefully anybody who wants to come on the chat has done so. The link is also in the chat. If you want to try it, it's in the description. You can copy and paste it from the description, and you can join the chat now. I'm an old person. How do you use a QR code? You just take a screenshot, man. Tomorrow the DNC decided men had to tuck to be considered moral men. Sky would tuck. Is that really what you think? The DNC? No, I don't think so. I mean, I didn't even want to put my pronouns on the stickers of the thing. I didn't want to do that. I'm ornery. I got high friction. I don't just do shit because people tell me to do it. No, sir. It's funny you say that because MAGA will literally Tulsi Gabbard said nobody should ever get involved in Iran. They said that nobody should ever bomb Iran and that Iran is nowhere near a nuclear weapon. And now she's saying, well, whatever the president says, I mean, is right? I mean, he's an imminent threat. Imminent threat. All right, it looks like we still don't have any takers, but here we go. Here we go. That's how to join the chat. Are you going to join the chat? I went through all that trouble to make it easier for everybody, and I still don't have somebody to join the chat. Cool. All right. Thank you, everybody. What do you say? MAGA gave their testicles to Trump. They're eunuchs now. Indeed. Indeed. Okay, next up, we have the white Christian nationalism is a political project, not a faith. Stop thinking that white Christian nationalism has anything to do with Jesus. It uses the iconography of Christianity, the flag, the cross, the language of the covenant to sanctify ethnic and economic hierarchy. But Jesus was a poor Middle Eastern anti-imperial dissident executed by the state. MAGA would have called the cops on him. MAGA would have called him a terrorist. MAGA would have called Jesus a terrorist. He was a dissident who was murdered by the state. The meek shall inherit the earth, never forget. Blessed are the peacemakers. Blessed are those who hunger for justice. Love your enemy. Welcome the stranger. This shouldn't be so hard. This shouldn't be so difficult, everybody. You know what's funny? You could also take a screenshot of the link, and the link can be extracted on your phone too. You could do all of these ways to get on the if you want to get on the show and talk with me, you can do it. Everyone's like, no, I want to dial a number. Fuck that. If I find a subject we can debate, I'll call in. But for now, I have no idea what we could debate. Well, there's 5 options right here. 5 options right here. It's not a debate. It's a dialectic. It's a conversation. If there was an I don't know option on the Melania poll, I would have clicked that. Well, there was only a yes or no. Sorry. We exist in a binary with this one. She either was Jeffrey Epstein's concubine or not. I don't know why Sky doesn't have more people stopping by. I see randos just sitting around saying nothing, getting tons of viewers. I know, because I've been shadow banned. That's what they say. Because I'm saying shit people don't want to hear. I'm playing on hard mode, Johnny Vegan. See, just like they say, I'm playing on hard mode, baby. The MAGA movement has more similarities. Has more similarities with what? With what? Come on the show and tell me. More similarities with what? The MAGA movement has more similarities with what? SSK Wait HF. Tell me what you think. Hi-fi. These MAGAs. The next one is DEI is National Strength. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is not charity toward the marginalized. It is the structural recognition that a nation leaving talent, perspective, and potential on the table because of race, gender, or origin is weakening itself by choice. Monocultures are fragile. Diverse systems are resilient. This is true in ecology, in military strategy, in markets, and in organizations. When every decision maker looks the same, thinks the same, and comes from the same background, blind spots become systemic. DEI is how institutions correct for that structural weakness. DEI is a correction for structural weakness. You really don't know anything. Well, look it up. You Google it, Jigger. Google it. Was Melania owned by Jeffrey Epstein? Was she on the menu? Yeah. Maybe you could do another named channel, another Gmail to get more viewers. I think Chip did this. No. I am going to play on hard mode. That's all. I'm just going to be on hard mode all the time. OME of next week's topics one of next week's topics needs to be either on partisanship or about it. You got it. Partisanship. All right, next week, partisanship. All right, here we go. She was trafficked. There you go. Partisanship. All right, that's what we're going to do for the rest of the show. We're going to talk about what the next ones are going to be. I have Trump is fascist, trans women are women, ICE is Gestapo, socialism is good, capitalism is evil. But I like this partisanship topic. What do you think it should be, the partisanship topic? Hate speaker Sargon of Akkad. What do you think it should be? What should be the claim? Hard mode. Nobody likes that. Yes, they do, Matthew. Because here's the thing. When you are successful on hard mode, it's all the more rewarding, isn't it? I find it far more rewarding to win on hard mode. Have you ever played a video game on hard mode? It's so much more rewarding. I used to play GoldenEye on hard mode, where one shot kills James Bond in GoldenEye. Did anyone ever remember the game GoldenEye? Sky, you need a better marketing scheme. Maybe you should try to get an invite in a show and talk anarchism. Yeah, I'd like to do that. Pick a show. I will reach out. Pick a show. I will reach out. I'm reaching out more. I was on a show this week. Steve made fun of me about it yesterday. I was on a show on Tuesday. It was called Watching Humans. I'm on a show on Monday in Houston on the FM radio. I'm doing a show in Houston on the FM radio. That'll be fun. And I'll be on a show on Tuesday. Same show, Watching Humans. I'll be on a show on next Wednesday. GoldenEye was perfect. Like perfect dark. GoldenEye was a cool game. 64, baby. Everyone knows what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? It was good. Hey, yeah, I want to get on more shows, but it's hard. People flake. It's really difficult to get on other people's shows. Oh, I would get more viewers if I did a striptease? No. I'm not going to have debate if one is going to change the meaning of the word because of that point of time. Debate is pointless. It's not a debate, first Dr. Dredd. It's a conversation. Would you like to have a conversation? There are no winners and losers. It's not a zero-sum game. It's a dialectic where both people could actually grow and come away enriched. Thank you. There's a link right here. There's a link right there. You could do it. Link in bio. Yeah. Link in bio. I know what you're looking for. The blue page. I don't have one of those. There are millions of Americans who haven't got the brain power of a flatworm. Well, that's true. We know that. But, I mean, we have lots of Americans that believe in crazy things. Monocultures, you know. The opposition of DEI is not about merit. It's about who gets to define merit. See, someone was just talking about definitions, right? Merit in a system built on exclusion reflects the preferences of those who designed the exclusion. When legacy admissions, old boy networks, and inherited wealth go unquestioned while DEI is attacked as unfair, that's not a defense of merit. That's a defense of the existing hierarchy. Boom! MAGA needs bidets. Yeah, they do. Because they need bidets on the face, don't they? Because they got too much brown nosing. They got too much of Donald Trump's shit on their noses. So they better get a bidet right up their nose. Good idea. Just make Sky expose his awful morals. It's pretty easy. Yep, it's pretty easy to get me to talk about my awful morals. I was trying to play Moon River. Did it sound like Moon River? Oh, shit. Moon River. Boom, 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 boom. Come on down. Talk about it. You could talk about it. Pick your battle. History shows that exclusion is expensive. Segregation, redlining, and gender bars on professional entry didn't just harm the excluded. It cost the entire society, doctors, engineers, scientists, and leaders it never got. DEI is the correction to that waste. Attacking it is choosing to repeat it. Attacking DEI is like saying you would love to remain weak. You like being weak. You like being fragile. You like being a snowflake. That's it. Here's my faily chance to call this guy a faily chance. There's your faily chance to call someone a douchebag. If that's the kind of person you want to be, that's the way life is going to be. You like being people. You like being the same dude all the time. Pretty lame to me, but hey, you can come on the show. Call me a douchebag. Go ahead. I was reading Animal Production and Slavery. I merely point out slavery is strictly directed to humans. No, it is not. And someone wants to imply otherwise, you can carry a conversation at words meaning change. That's not right at all, first Dr. Dredd. You're an idiot. See, this is the thing. You're a fool. Aristotle even called, since the days of Aristotle, animals have been considered slaves. Aristotle called animals slaves, and he said that some people were born a lot like animals, and they should be slaves too. That was what Aristotle said. The definition fits. Slavery is the ownership of someone, forced labor or use of their body, denial of autonomy, and killing at the owner's discretion. Animal-based production systems meet every criterion of slavery. Calling it something else is a language choice made by those who profit. You know you want to say, well, slavery's just about human beings, but yeah, because it makes you feel better because you're a stupid snowflake. Yes, stupid snowflake. You're just pro-slavery. You're just a guy who's pro-slavery. There you go. I just did prove you wrong. First Doctor Dead. I just did prove you wrong. You're too much of a coward to come up and talk to me. You're too much of a coward, and you want to do this. Nah, go fuck yourself. You're pro-slavery. You're a Nazi. You think concentration camps are cool. That's you, man. That's you. Once again. But they're animals. They're not humans. Ugh. Historically, enslaved humans were described as less intelligent, less feeling, more animal. The strategy of depersoning the enslaved to justify exploitation is identical. The argument proves the point. The fact that you're arguing that is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Redonkulous. Oh. Looks like you're done. Slavery. You want me to show it on the screen? You got it, buddy. Oh, you want me to show it on the screen? Sure, buddy. Sure, little buddy. There it is, right there. Oh, look at that. The state of being a slave. The practice or system of owning slaves. Restricted. The respect of exhausting labor or restricted freedom. Slavery. Oh, look at that. There you go, honey pie. There you go, little honey. Oh, the first doctor dead. First doctor dead. That's why you get called an idiot. You're welcome. You like to use the word. You like to change definitions of words, don't you? You just like to change the definitions of words and say shit like this on the internet. Call me names. You like to call me names? I can call names with the best of them. I'll get down in the gutter with you. I don't give a shit. All of us are in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars, baby doll. I'm looking at the stars, baby doll. Because I'm against slavery as a principle, not just for humans. When a living being with the capacity to suffer, bond, and desire freedom is owned, confined, exploited, and killed for someone else's profit and pleasure, that is slavery. The species of the enslaved does not change the structure of the crime. This is something that has been established since the days of Aristotle. But thank you. Thanks, baby doll. Give us examples of how DEI ideology could become deranged. Is that what you want to talk about next week? How could DEI be deranged? Is that what I should say? I thought you were to give me an example of what the claim should be about partisanship, but I do like the idea of partisanship. I do think that's right because I'm against partisanship. I think that the parties are stupid. I hate this red versus blue bullshit. So I think that partisanship is bad, but I need to come up with a good claim, you know? Partisanship is bad is so blah. What am I, Ari the Mermaid? What am I, Ari the Mermaid? I got to have better claims than that. Like, it's not going to stay capitalism is evil. That's so boring. It's going to be, we got to change it up, baby. We got to change it up, baby doll. Ooh, Wittgenstein. Oh, we have a great Pharaoh Wittgenstein. Please put your age in the private chat. It's over on the right-hand side of your screen so that I don't bring on. Just say how old you are. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do, baby doll. I'll stop calling you baby doll. I don't even know you. Maybe I'll call you baby doll. I don't know. I'm kind of on a whole kick right now, calling people baby doll for some reason. 41. Cool. Pharaoh Wittgenstein. Jawohl, mein Herr. Ich liebe Wittgenstein. It's been a long time since I've argued Wittgenstein, so if it's going to be a pop quiz about Wittgenstein, let's see what... Pharaoh Wittgenstein, you're on the air with Skyjack Morgan on Pick Your Battles. How can I help you, sir? What's going on? Or ma'am, I don't know.
Mr. Skyjack, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you.
Hey, good to connect with you, my friend. I heard you on the Watching People podcast with Jack, the other Jack, and enjoyed it. So
Oh,
I'm,
that's
I'm a
rad.
new listener to you.
Awesome. You see, I am on
Yeah.
people's podcasts. People say I'm not on I'm on other people's podcasts.
Yeah, well, do it more. But no, I like the cut of your jib. I like the open dialectic, and being willing to kind of put these views out there. And it is always amazing, isn't it? How people are very brave in comment sections, but just won't actually get on the phone to engage when it comes down to it. So I respect that.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Did you have a bring your own battle or something you wanted to discuss, or
I
a
do.
topic you wanted to? Yeah,
I
let's
do.
do it.
I do have a topic. So I have in the 1 or 2 days I've listened to you, I've gotten the impression that you are some variety of Christian.
Ooh, interesting. A variety of Christian. I suppose I'm a Reformed Christian. I went to religious schools, and I do think that the New Testament is fantastic. I think that the teachings of Christ are very worthwhile, but I don't believe in the invisible world. So that kind of like, I don't know, you see what I mean? Like, I think like the philosophy of Jesus is worthwhile and worth talking about and worth teaching, but I think I'm more Christian than the people who call themselves Christians, frankly, Pharaoh Wittgenstein.
I agree. So I unfortunately I was hoping you'd take a harder stance on being Christian. But
I could do it. Okay, what's the stance? I'll take a stance. Yes, Jesus is Lord and Savior, and He died for our sins.
well, my battle I was going to bring was basically the question: do you think the description is ever the described?
Ooh. Is the description ever the described? What do you think?
You answered my question with a question, sir.
I know I did, because I don't know what my answer is. Is the description ever the described? Yeah, I guess it can be, right? I'm thinking of just like, I mean, this is like, I'm searching through my memory banks of German philosophers, right? I'm thinking of like Heidegger right now, and how he
Wittgenstein's the only one that matters.
Oh, it's the only one that matters. I didn't get that into Wittgenstein. I have a degree in German, and so I read a lot of German philosophy, but I don't.
There's a great quote from Wittgenstein about Hegel, which I highly recommend.
Yes.
He hated Hegel. Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't Wittgenstein. It was Schopenhauer hated Hegel.
Oh, I love Schopenhauer too. Schopenhauer's the one who he's got a great vegan quote in there, like comparing the suffering of the animal versus the suffering of the animal being eaten versus the joy of the animal eating.
Yeah, he's great. He really is. I mean, it makes sense. He was inspired by Indian philosophy, the Vedas, who also have a very good vegetarian animal rights track record. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the description being the described, you mentioned there might be something. I'm curious what you think that something might be.
I don't know. Like, it's always something about like a mental anchor that I'm trying to struggle with. I know that I sometimes have been caught in having mental anchors like RFK Jr. He is you have these kind of anchor biases, and so I start thinking of, is he the description of the described?
Well, I think that's too downstream. I think it's much more basic, right? I mean,
I guess like, but
your thoughts of RFK are linguistic, cultural linguistic tokens, which are signifiers to various things that are not those things.
Yeah, it's just like it's the thing. I think I'm trying to think of, like, it was Wallace Stevens, or it's not the poetry is not the thing, but the thing itself. And it's always this idea of the thing, but not the thing itself. Right? It's the representation of the thing, but it can't be that thing. And so, can the description be the described? I sometimes think, I guess sometimes I fall into thinking it can. I guess that's the best way of putting it, is that because of my own human biases, sometimes I think it can. But yes, I think that as a rule, no, it can't. Is that fair?
Right. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think the map would become the territory then, right?
Right. Right.
Right. So which obviously doesn't happen.
Right. It doesn't happen, but I think that mental anchors might be the personal reality for a person, right? So like
For an
if
ego, for an ego, for an self narrative. I mean, because your sense of being Jack Morgan is a
is a
collection of
description.
memories. Yeah, it's a bunch of descriptions, and out of the infinitude of experiences, you've selected out the ones you prefer. Or if you're
Yes.
masochistic, you've selected out the ones you don't prefer.
Yeah, I guess that's the same thing when I talk about other people, right? My
Yeah,
description of RFK Jr. would probably include animal abuser, brain worm, the dysphonia of the voice, and I would describe this person, but that really wouldn't be the person. It would just be my version, my reality of that person. And so
right.
that's what I was trying to describe. Like I know that I can be guilty of that, and I know that other people can too, but I am aware of it. I don't know, because I thought maybe you were setting me up for something like, oh well, here, Sky, you've done something, because I know that the anchor bias is real. I've been guilty of it before, and I'm thinking of RFK Jr. because my description of him, I believe to be him, but I
You
don't
think
know
you have
that
the
guy.
essence. You think you have the essence of the man, or you
Yes.
think you have the essence of what he's projecting forth. But of course, I mean, and this is another topic I'd love to chat about another time. I know I'm taking up way too much time with this this randomness,
The
but
last 5 minutes of the show, it's okay to be random and crazy.
yeah, but I mean, another issue is that, and this is a topic I'd love to chat with you further on later. But of course, you have an indication of RFK that has been seeded to you through, let's be real, more left leaning media sources, and I'm sure you check all of them and all that. But
Yeah, yeah.
in the same way, the right wing person collects their idea of RFK Jr. through their more right leaning publications, and so
Mm.
two distinct and totally provable to them and to you realities exist at the same time of the single person or the single event.
Yeah, and since we're talking about German philosophers, you just reminded me of like in translation theory, I studied a lot of Walter Benjamin, where
Mm,
he talks about how in order to understand if we looked at an object or a building, you would have to look at it from all different angles. You'd have to go inside of it. You'd have to see every little piece of it to understand what the building looks like. If you
mm.
just stood on Fifth Avenue and looked up at the Trump Tower, you really wouldn't know what the Trump Tower looks like. You just know what it looks like from this angle. And so I hear what you're saying, because what I think is weird though too is that the right used to hate RFK Jr. He was running as a Democrat, and now they love RFK Jr.
Right.
And RF
Doesn't that prove the malleability of these characters?
I don't know if it's the malleability of the characters or the people themselves who are following the cult leader, because they seem to be able to go so easily with his whims. Vladimir
Well,
Putin's a
wouldn't you
villain.
say
He's a good guy.
right? I mean, wouldn't you say that signaling of good bad guy, indifferent guy is media seeded, or it's seeded through media of left, right, or center?
Yeah, probably to some degree, absolutely, and especially in our world. While you were talking, I was thinking about someone. If we could go back in time and think about Benedict Arnold, and today, Benedict Arnold, we've heard his story so many times. For people who don't know, Benedict Arnold's the only general in history to serve on both sides as a general in the same war, and it's the only time it's happened in history. And now I think everyone just looks at him as a traitor. No one, he's not a hero to anybody. He's not a, I think even the British
Mm.
like think of him as a traitor. Uh, so maybe with the distance of time, those things solidify. Maybe the description becomes the described by default
Well,
with the
it certainly
passage of time.
becomes the narrative of the man, right?
Sure,
It's
but
at
what are
some
we other
point
than that?
we're much more. I think I think we're much more than a narrative,
Not
don't you think?
not when we're dead.
Well, I think thinking that you're a narrative is like thinking it's like the lamp thinking it's a lamp and ignoring the electricity, right? There's a current underneath the local activity.
Yeah, but I mean, but the perception, just just like a lot of managers will tell you, perception is reality. I think that's a cop out most of the time when people say it, but there's truth to it. That perception is reality, and maybe that's kind of sophistry, but at the
A
same
little bit. I
time,
think
I
that's a
think
bit of a fallacy. It's
yeah.
like appeal to the obvious or appeal to the apparent.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, things could be. In fact, put your hand in front of your face right now, right?
Yeah.
And you would, and this is actually a challenge that was put to Wittgenstein by one of his critics. The critic said, he put his hand up and he said, "I see my hand. I see a hand in front of me." You can't say to Wittgenstein, you can't say I'm not seeing my hand. To say that would be ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
But the issue is that yes, you put this flesh object in front of your hand or in front of your face, but where does the hand start and the wrist begin, or where does the palm
Hmm.
start and the fingers begin? Where does the forearm end and the elbow begin? Right. So you have the demarcation problem. Like it's very easy to say I see a hand in front of me, but you're smuggling in the cultural concept of a hand and its demarcation into that so-called obvious thing.
Yeah, but the obvious is always more. Maybe it's less the obvious thing and more the familiar thing, like the Heimlich versus the Unheimlich, right? This idea that I know what a hand is, I'm familiar with what a hand is. It
You
doesn't
don't know what a
matter,
hand is.
but it's the you're right. I know what a hand is not. I guess is more.
You know the cultural definition in the West
Yes,
in this day and age of what a hand, what it generally is, right? But you
right.
actually you don't know it as it is, and in fact there is
Yeah.
no. Why are we even demarcating a hand from the arm at all? I mean, it could just be the arm.
Yeah, but then isn't this like what is it? Solipsism is the term maybe, where we could just all be brains and vads. The only thing we can prove is our own existence and nothing, not the existence of anything else. Which is I don't know.
I don't
It
know.
gets a
That's a different problem, but I mean, I would say this is the demarcation problem, like
But the
specifically.
demarcation problem becomes kind of, I guess, like then the demarcation problem could apply to something like the idea of RFK Jr. or Benedict Arnold and the thing itself. We don't know where one begins and one ends, just like the hand and the wrist.
Yes, yes, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, so at the end of the day, there's a cultural understanding, and then there's an actual reality that underlies that cultural understanding.
Yes. So to say we're much more than just the cultural understanding is perfectly, yeah,
Yeah, I
true.
mean, do you think you are your name?
No, but I think that in death, with the distance of time, we become more that name and more those narratives than we do what we actually were. Maybe it has something to do with the atomization of ourselves in the
I don't think
grave.
so. I don't. I think that's like saying you draw a picture of yourself and you become that over time.
Like a picture of Dorian Gray.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. It's like, oh, it just takes a few years for it to ripen, and now I'm that.
yeah, yeah. I guess because the reality of the person no longer can define itself. It's almost like a death of like a Roland Barthes death of the author thing. It's like you author your own narrative, and you're not alone because you're not able to author your narrative alone because you exist in the society, but you are an author in what makes you you, and that everyone else is also writing your story. But once you're dead, you leave only that artifact. So if I write a book, if Shakespeare writes a book, it doesn't matter what Shakespeare intended at all. He's dead. It doesn't matter at all. What matters only, that might matter to the biographer, but what matters to us is the artifact of Hamlet. It matters what we think Hamlet means and what it means to us, how it makes us feel. And so if once the author is dead or enough of the authors are dead, then we become more that artifact than ourselves. Or
Right.
maybe
I
it's a
mean,
transition.
we're back to that thing of where we started, right? Where the
Yeah.
RFK is an image, and you have an image of him that isn't
Hmm.
actually him, and so too with this author, after death, after writing, becomes more their image than they were a living person, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I think I'm taking you past your 5 minutes. I apologize. I think I'm rambling a little bit.
No, no, I appreciate it very much. We're talking about themes that I don't necessarily think about every day anymore, and I miss it. I'm flexing some muscles I haven't flexed in a while. I think a lot about philosophy and ethics, but some of these more kind of advanced level topics are some things that I like. I don't know. I haven't said the word Roland Bart in a long time.
Well, that's the thing. So this is why I think it's good to chat, because I think everything must begin with philosophy, and it must begin with
Yes.
the inner person. Like
Yes.
nothing, like trying to yeah. I mean, you get it, right? So you have to change inward out. You have to self-understand before you can help others.
Yeah, and so a lot of times though, a lot of times that's how the motive starts too. I mean, like I think that anybody who started meditating, you start meditating thinking like, okay, I need some peace of mind, or I need some quiet for my brain, I need some headspace for myself, and then over a short amount of time, surprisingly short amount of time, you realize that your meditation is actually benefiting so many other people because of who you bring to the world and how you interact with it. And so it becomes less and less selfish and more selfless. I think that Christianity is like that, to bring it full circle to where we were going. Christianity is like that. If you really have a relationship with Christ and you really are getting into Christian ethics, then I think that you might have started it out because you felt lonely or whatever, you needed direction in your life, but you start realizing that it isn't about you. It's about selflessness. It's about charity and compassion and helping everybody else, and that includes the animals, of course.
Well, good. I could ramble on and on. So that was a good stopping point, I think. So maybe I
Awesome.
can I'll skedaddle.
Well, yeah, please join again. Thank you so much. Are you let me just ask you just a technical thing. Did you join from a phone or a laptop or a
I joined from a phone, so I
Okay.
passed that midwit intelligence test to make that happen.
Did you have to take a screenshot, or what did you have to do it? Because I'm trying to fine tune it. I want to make it. I want a barrier, but I don't want to make it so damn hard for people to join the chat. To join the show.
Well, I think you should be able to put a link. A mod should be able to put a clickable link in chat, so that should be possible. So I would look into that. And then
I did that, but it wasn't possible on the phone. It was only possible on my laptop. I did. There's a clickable link in the chat, but it's not. There are several now, but it's
I
not.
did have to copy paste it.
You have to copy and paste it.
I was
Got
not
it.
able to click it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's clickable on a laptop, but not on a phone. So I guess I'll have to figure that out. I appreciate you so much, Farrell Wittgenstein. I'll see you next Tuesday on for at least a few minutes on the Watching Humans too. If you tune in next Tuesday.
I thought you were great with those guys, so I'm glad you're coming back.
Yeah, me too. We're talking about maybe keeping me for the full hour, but for now it's just going to be like the first 15 minutes or 10 minutes or something. To talk about like what news things, so like a warm up, and then I'm bouncing. So, but
love it.
It's collaboration, All right, thank you so much. Peace out. All right, very cool. That was a fun little diversion, a little tangent into the world of philosophy. How many people am I if everyone reads me with a different perspective and lens? Ooh, this is important because you are not your words, right? Your words are not you. So if someone judges your words, they are not judging you. They might be attacking you. But again, that's why you always want people to engage in arguments and not attack the person themselves. Good question. I like that. There's only one rule, says Lily, that I know of babies. God damn it, you've got to be kind. Never the bullshit. Never mind the bullshit of philosophy. Never mind the bullshit of religion. Be kind. Well, kindness counts. What does it cost you? What does kindness count you, Steve? What does kindness cost you, Steve? Nothing. How many words would it take to perfectly describe something like a tree down to the atom? Insane. Yeah, insane. How many words would it take to describe? I don't think that language is a sufficient tool to describe something like a tree. A poem will never be as lovely as a tree. I think was that F. Scott Fitch? No, who said that? Was that Francis Scott Key? Who wrote that poem, There Will Never Be a Poem as Lovely as a Tree? I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree. Oh shit, it's Joyce Kilmer. I don't know why I thought it was somebody else. I think I shall never see A poem lovely as a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowing breast, a tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pray, a tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately lives with rain. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree. By Joyce Kilmer, the famous poem. There you go. I think I shall never see a poem as lovely as a tree. Great. I'm glad that you made me think about a tree. Joyce Kilmer. Oh, yeah. You nailed it. Joyce Kilmer. You got it. Way to go. All right. Hello, Skylord. FDT, but you know what I'm saying? I know what you're saying. Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck Donald Trump! All right, thank you, everybody. This is the end of the show. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. These are the last time you'll see most of these. We will have a new set of battles to pick on the next show. I can't wait to do it with you. Not like that. I can't wait to do it with you, to do the show with you. I think it's going to be awesome. And I appreciate you, every one of you, especially everyone who gave money this hour and all of our channel members. Thank you. I appreciate you more than you know. That shirt got too few colors to be a Hawaiian shirt. That's like a Borneo shirt. I think I just call them my Aloha shirt. Is that okay? An Aloha shirt? Sometimes in California, we call them Aloha shirts. But I like it. Did you like it? It's kind of a Hawaiian shirt. FTT in chat. And the background is from Saber. Yes. Damn, Mr. Good Citizen. You nailed it. Yeah. It's one of the flags that Saber painted. Do you like it? Yeah, it is. It's a flag by Saber. Well done. Somebody knows their artists. All right. Cool beans. Thank you so much. And I will see you on the other side. Illegitimately non-carborundum. Don't let the bastards grind you down because I need you. We need each other. And the animals need us most of all. Godspeed, rebels.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so friggin' much.